Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. Journalist or not? I don't know. I have no idea. Karl Jobst, is he a journalist or is he not a journalist? I have no idea. I have no idea. I am confused. I see this tweet. I've literally never called myself an investigative journalist. I make videos to entertain people and make money. If a criminal gets exposed while doing that, it's just a bonus. Well, I'm confused. I don't know if you ever expose criminals, per se. I don't know. I'm not an investigative journalist myself. I'm just some guy on YouTube that is not going to give you financial or legal advice because we're just shooting the breeze here. We're just squeezing that milk out. The udders are raw, and we just keep on getting gift after gift after gift. What's going on, Karl? When were these statements made? I don't know. I'm confused. You guys tell me. All right, you guys are the experts on this. I'm just looking at this going, what to do? Let me tell you guys, in the case that he just lost to Billy, this is how the Australian court views him. The defendant, Karl Jobst, lives in Queensland and describes himself as a professional YouTuber. Right? Yeah, he's an entertainer. Right? He's an entertainer. So what's going on here, buddy? I mean, is this wrong that they get you out of context? Is this even real? I don't know. Again, I'm not an investigative journalist. I don't make rookie mistakes. As far as I know, this guy had said at some point that he had embellished the story, right? Embellished stories to make YouTube videos pop or something like that, which is normal for an entertainer or a YouTuber that's just trying to get views. That makes sense. Doesn't make sense for a journalist. Certainly doesn't make sense for an investigative journalist. Guys, there's so many people out there. Let me tell you about my profession. When people look at me, they want to know my CV, especially if it's Casual Friday. Because on Casual Fridays, I look like the guy that's standing outside of Home Depot asking you if you need electrical repair or want to do some carpet replacement. I just have that look to me. Right? That fresh Pablo Escobar look. Look, I understand. It's okay. Right? So I understand when people ask me for my CV, but there's a purpose to that. Right? In my business, for what I do, and I'm not going to get too much into it, but imagine when you did homework in back in school and you read a book and you had to answer questions. Right? That's basically what I do. Right? I do a lot of business auditing, except my books are a lot thicker and the questions are a lot more. There's a lot more questions and the subject is usually there in front of me and I have to make a determination, BS or not. Do you qualify or not, right? Or do you pass the audit? Don't you pass the audit, right? You have to establish competence when I'm doing audits. That's one of the things I do. You guys would be surprised how many people fake their college degrees. They do, right? They call themselves engineers, they call themselves XYZ, and then I start looking and looking for proof, and I'm like, what's this? I can't find anything. Well, I just call myself engineer because I've been doing it for so long. That's what they call me. I don't, they start making excuses. Well, no, we need a certification. I don't care where the degree's from, but you got to show me something or else the insurance company is just going to go ballistic because we can't certify anything that you do. That's the reason you need to show competence, right? Or what we call it, know your business, right? If you don't know your business, you're either not going to get insurance, you're not going to get insured, or your insurance is going to be a lot higher. Let me put it to you in very simple terms. If you, let's say, open up an auto repair shop, and the way you trained is just by repairing your own car. You're very good, people like you, you're doing business, and now you have to buy insurance because, things can happen, right? Things can happen. So you go out there, insurance, and you get a quote of $1,000 a month, and you're like, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money, right? But you have to pay it. You're doing business, whatever. And all of a sudden, another shop opens up, and they just specialize in Toyota. That's all they do. All they do is Toyota. And, you go and ask them, hey, I'm trying to look for insurance. What insurance company do you use? And then they tell you, well, we pay you $500 and here's our insurance company. And you find out it's the same insurance company. And you're going, what the heck? The insurance company explains to you that your neighbor, your competitor, only repairs Toyotas, and they went through an apprenticeship, and they have a certificate of competence from Toyota, meaning that they're going to make a lot more mistakes. You work on everything. You'll work on BMWs, Buicks, Cadillacs, whatever comes in, you try to fix. The chances of you making a mistake are a lot higher. Mr. Karl Jobst here, according to the court, right, made a couple of faux pas. I call them rookie mistakes. They wouldn't have been made by a professional, in my opinion, right? And again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an investigative journalist, but they seem to me like rookie mistakes, and I think to everybody else. I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct. That would be a mistake. Saying that would be a mistake after you lose this big in court, right? And that's the reason you want to establish competence. One of the things that I always tell people, you know, and some YouTubers get upset when I say this, you can't call yourself a journalist if you're not a journalist, right? You can't call yourself a mechanic if you're not a mechanic. And it's for professional reasons. It's tough love. I know you don't want to hear it. It hurts your feelings. Karl Jobst is just an entertainer, right? He's a world record holder, right? He could be an expert in those things, in video games, whatever records he has. That's cool. He can testify to that. But if he goes into court testifying that he's a investigative journalist, right? What is your opposition going to do? They're going to embarrass you in court. They're actually going to bring an investigative, credited journalist working for an actual magazine or organization, and they're just going to blow your testimony out of the water. That's what they're going to do, right? Number one. Number two is after you lose a case like this, it's going to be probably, would be my guess, I don't know the laws in Australia. I'm not an Australian law expert like Karl Jobst. But I would imagine buying insurance would be a lot harder, right? Like if you're driving and you get a DUI, the insurance goes a lot higher. Now, is there a future for Mr. Karl Jobst? Probably, if he starts his own business, but he's going to have to earn it, right? You just can't say it. You just can't pretend. Man, there is so much milk here. You guys need to tell me, do you guys think that Karl Jobst is a professional journalist? Is he an investigative journalist? What is he? To me, he's an entertainer. He's a speedrunner, and he likes to talk smack on the internet. Right? I'm not an attorney. I'm not a journalist. I'm here just to have a conversation, because right now I'm waiting for the clothes to dry. That's what I'm doing here, right? And to shoot the breeze with you, because this is what I find interesting, right? It's just a hobby. But if you're going to take it to the next level, man, you better have your ducks in a row. You better have your ducks in a row. This is just a combination of rookie mistakes by somebody who thought they were a journalist, in my humble opinion, who acted like they were a journalist, who wanted that prestige, but didn't make the sacrifice. If you don't make the sacrifice, you don't have the prestige, right? And nobody's going to insure you. No company worth their salt is going to insure you in anything that you just call yourself. And if they do, they're going to charge you up the wazoo. Why not become what you want to be? That's the lesson here, guys. I don't hate Mr. Karl Jobst. I thank him for giving us all this content, right? The same as Billy Mitchell. That's the reason we're here. That's the reason we get to talk. And if it wasn't for Karl making all these mistakes, and for those of you out there who are his supporter, this is tough love, man. When you screw up, somebody's got to dust you off and, hey, dude, you messed up. You messed up, boy. You can't be doing this. Now get up and try it again. Will he get up and try it again? Who knows? What do you guys think? Journalist or not? Guys, thank you so much. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.